banging number, copyright free number. It's very mellow, man. Got the little clean guitar tone there, and it's very jazzy, you know, very Jamiroquai 1997. But it's also a bit shit. Alright, Lumber, let's do it. I'm your Huckleberry.
Hello and welcome on into this Monday's edition of Movie News here at
MB.
We'd just like to thank you once again for joining us here on our YouTube channel.
Of
Of course,
move over a wee bit here.
our Twitch stream. I'm one of our co-hosts, Stephen John McLaughlin, our co-host wearing the violent coloured shirt.
Yes, and
Looking
feeling
very-
violent.
yeah.
The throat is feeling violent. The brain. There could be a lot of mistakes tonight, Stephen.
It's John C. Walsh.
It's John C. Walsh, yes. I feel like I'm on fucking Saturn at the moment. But I'm not. I'm definitely on
John,
terra firma, planet Earth.
When we were doing, obviously,
Place of
Gangs of
Scotland.
Wasseypoor the other day, and we had that dance sequence.
This
The
camera's strange.
transsexual dance sequence
think
at the
left
party.
I think I actually got something off it.
That shirt represents a visual representation of our thoughts when we were reacting to that. That's what
Yes,
all I'm
that
going to say on the
represents the
matter.
thoughts of the fucking characters in that moment. No, like,
But,
what's happening? There's a interesting chat with a dress on. Let's slap their arse,
Yeah.
as we like to say here, or their ass,
Yeah, their
as they
ass.
say in other parts of the world.
Now,
Yes, that was an interesting scene. One of the
Yeah.
best in that movie.
John, it was an interesting film, and obviously our fifth and final part is dropping early doors tomorrow.
Yes,
John has been
4:30
working like a dog, getting it out every day.
Yes, but apparently,
It's not enough getting a video out a day.
someone asked us, "Do we think we're superior? Why do you make us
course
wait?" That's a strange fucking comment to make. No, we do not think we're superior, my friend. We are just two pricks, shit kickers from Glasgow.
Plebs.
So absolutely not. And if you're going down that whole superiority route, I have to tell you, sons of Irish immigrants, we certainly don't think we're superior, my friend. We were downtrodden, treated worse than
doff
dogs.
our cap to you, yeah.
Worse than we were put on a sign, just like that one behind me. No blacks, no dogs, no Irish. No racist, no sexist, no fascist. We've turned it on its head. We're trying to gain a foothold.
Yeah.
Make the world a better place. So no, we don't think we're superior.
Heal the world, make it a better place, in the words of Michael Jackson. Anyway,
It's true though, he was right.
we're only doing one topic tonight, folks, because we are going to be moving on to our next movie, which you can find out about once it drops. That's the way we're going to be rolling from now on.
What's
We're
going
not
on here?
telling us what's happening. We'll do it when we do it. No. We've got the plans obviously in place to what we are doing, and we're
Yeah.
going to steam forward with that very
Thumbnail's
shortly.
done, Stephen. Just needs us put on it.
Just needs our input.
Just needs our cutouts.
In the words of Johnny Five, input.
And I tell you what,
Yeah.
I've done a thumbnail for another TV show which could potentially be reacted to somewhere
Is it
down
a
the
Korean
road.
Netflix one by any chance?
No, it's an
No?
Indian one, but
Oh,
we'll
okay.
do the Korean one as
Yeah.
well.
I saw the comment earlier
Yeah.
on today, and I thought, interesting.
I had loads of time. I was
Yeah.
bored. There was a big funeral happening, and I thought, fuck it.
Yeah.
Sod that. I can't be arsed with that depressing shit, so I'll do some work on Photoshop.
Yeah.
But I
But,
thank Lizzie for the bank holiday.
Yeah.
Thank her.
Dankeschön. Triple R director.
It was very impressive.
SS Rajamouli talks to the growing influence of Telugu movies. John, this is coming in from Collider of all places, believe it or not.
Yes.
Now, this came over the weekend, this news, because obviously, hi Shah, how you doing?
What's up?
What's up?
What's
Let's
up?
go back 20 years.
Yes.
Because obviously everything that's been happening here in the UK over the last 12 days or so, news, well, over the world, let's be
Steve,
honest.
did you
know.
hear the what was it? Boat to Sky something? Sky Boat song? The bagpipers were playing.
Right, okay.
Yeah, it's about Bonnie Prince Charles,
Okay, no, I didn't
who
know that.
was forced out of succession to the throne because he was of a certain faith,
Okay.
allowing the current heirs to the throne their access to said throne. It was very fucking strange.
I don't know the history, to be honest.
Really weird.
I kind of just...
It was very nice to hear it on the bagpipes, but...
I'm more of a here and now type of person, you know, rather than then and now. But
now and then.
India is truly a diverse land, comprising of 22 recognised languages. I don't have to tell you guys, you know that. And so is it similar.
I was speaking to an 88-year-old Indian man just the other day, and he was telling me about that. But Steve, I'll let you go.
No, that's fine, it's okay. I didn't know this, John.
I was in his house. He invited me in. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. He invited me in. I was delivering a parcel to him. I'll just go to the spot screen briefly.
Let's do it now. Yeah.
And get speaking about how I'm 2% Indian. I have a great Indian grandmother from Tamil Nadu. Get speaking about the channel, and he says, "Oh, nice to speak to you. You can come along for a coffee anytime." I'm like, "Well, I don't really go into rooms with 88-year-old men to have a coffee. It's a bit fucking strange." But yeah, he've invited me in. His son, fan of a certain football club. I showed my appreciation. Yeah, had a little chat, and he was saying the same thing.
Yeah,
it's people don't realise how diverse India is.
Well, that's
terrain, culture, and I says, yeah, I know. Because I've been fucking educated on it. Because I've put my foot in it.
Yeah. Well, sometimes that's what happens. Sometimes you need to do that, and then you get re-educated from people online. But Shah says, what do you guys think is chances of Triple R getting any Oscars? I think it's got a great chance.
Foreign language, it's probably got a shout. Yeah, in terms of technical categories, if it can sneak a little nomination in for some of the technical stuff, some of the CGI, slow-mo stuff, I think it's well deserving.
Yeah.
Of a nomination. It's right up there technically with some of the best movies I've seen.
Some of it's better than the stuff that Marvel been knocking out lately, certainly in the phase 4.
In terms of the actual genre though, it's difficult for these kind of action heavy movies to get a chance at the Oscars in a sense.
That's across the board though, not just Indian.
Because they've got a bias towards drama and sort of biopic human condition drivel. That's what they like to.
But I'd expect it to be up there and challenging at least.
Oh, absolutely, for foreign language, 100%. If it doesn't get nominated, it's a But Steve, that's not down.
The technical things as well, John. The technical.
But Steve, it's not down to us Plevingtons. It's not down to guys like Shah or gals like Shah. I don't know. I don't want to presume because I don't know enough about names from the subcontinent. So Shah, it's not people like us who get to decide. What movies are put forward. I think it's an actual group, an organisation within the multiple Indian industries. They choose their shortlist and then it gets put forward for the actual Oscars. So they may not actually put Triple R forward.
The Raj says, he says an epic soundtrack.
The soundtrack was absolutely brillint. Yeah, just for the song at the end. I tell you what, that's another nomination, a category that it could have a chance at and deserves. And the sort of the foothold this movie actually had in Western society, in America in particular, huge buzz. That epic song at the end, I actually forget the name of the song. The sort of the flags and the prominent figures of India's history. That was a great original song. That has a chance of getting nominated as an original song, I think, anyway.
I think, John, certainly in SS Rajamouli films, and we've seen that in like Bahubali 1 and 2, the score is a big part of the feel to the movie. Most scores are that way, but there's something. He has a good team in place, that he uses and utilises in a great way in terms of tone and feelings in movies as well. And I always think that watching particularly Bahubali 1 and 2, it got the score absolutely bang on in terms of emotions and just really hit the mark and really just I'm trying to think of the word. It's really just, it marries well. It just marries well into what you're seeing visually, and I think
acquiesces.
That's the word, John.
It acquiesces.
And I think a lot of movies take that for granted. Your really big blockbuster films are probably the only ones that I've seen from a Western point of view that do it well. In terms of India, we've seen so many Indian movies now, John. I think it's fair to say that we're educated enough to know a good score in a good film, and a good score that's maybe not placed well in a good film. Certainly with Rajamouli films, I think he does it well, and it certainly does do it well in RRR. So I think it has got a good shout. Sorry for going on and on there.
No, there was some great themes, there was some great moments, obviously, that really do enhance what you're seeing on the screen, and that's what a good score should do. It shouldn't be obtrusive, it shouldn't overstay its welcome, it shouldn't overtake the visual stuff, it should just enhance it, it should be subtle. All of the greatest composers have that knack of just being there, you're aware of it, but it doesn't overimpose in the actual movie.
But it doesn't take
you see
the
that with
picture either,
Loki?
John.
No, it doesn't. No, it actually.
I mean, some of those early, dare I say it, some of those early films that we watched, you know, the telepathy ones, the 1990 ones, you're
I'm
like,
actually talking
this
about
this score actually, the
Ranjinikin telepathy from
I think just sometimes you're like, where's this score come from? It's too hyped up for this certain sequence. It's so misplaced. It's an okay tune, you know, but it just doesn't feel right in this particular sequence.
No, I think there's some brilliant actual composers out there just now from the subcontinent. The first one that comes to mind is Lokesh Kanagaraj. There's another one, I'm blanking on his name, I think it begins with an A. Atlee? Maybe wrong. I may have to search it up on the go, and I'll do that when Stephen's on the screen on his lonesome. But there's some brilliant composers doing their stuff over there, and I certainly think the score was great in RRR. Great original stuff going on in terms of songs. Just brilliant scores, man. I mean, you think of the moments, the standout moments in the movie. Obviously, the Beam and Ramaraju meet for the first time on the bridge. They do their manoeuvre to save the little kid. That's enhanced with brilliant score. Obviously, the more tender moments, he's been bitten with a snake. They have this real, I mean, it's mixed emotions. He realises this is the guy he's been hunting down, but then there's this brotherhood between them as well. That's enhanced with the score. There's just some brilliant moments in there. At the end, the epic scene where he's almost reborn, Ramaraju, he's got the bow and arrow, he's in the woods, all enhanced with a wonderful soundtrack.
It really does get you pumped, you know, when you're watching those sequences you described, the one on the bridge, John.
My biggest regret, Stephen,
you're
is
on the
not
edge of your
seeing
seat,
this
you know?
in the theatres.
Yeah.
That's my biggest regret.
John, that sometimes, and maybe at that point we maybe underestimated, probably we shouldn't have, because we've seen Bahubali 1 and 2, and that was certainly something that you have to see in the cinema. And I think, well, there was another obviously reason for it as well. Both of us were really not well when it did come out, and we just didn't get a chance to see it after that. I think it was in the cinemas, certainly in Glasgow, for a few weeks. Unfortunately we missed it, you know, but never again with an SS Rajamouli film.
Guys, I want to recommend another amazing one from India. That's Vikram. You guys will love it. We're making manoeuvres to try and get our hands on that, and we'll do a reaction to it. There is one Indian Marvel character, Shakra. Rajamouli should direct it. Shakra, one Indian Marvel character. Is that an actual character from the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Because I tell you, it's one thing we're missing. I know Kamil Nanjiani, I think he's actually Pakistani, but he plays a sort of Bollywood kind of character in Eternals. I've still not seen Eternals. I think your Kamala Khan, I think's the name of the character, playing Miss Marvel. But it's one thing we don't have enough of. We don't have enough sort of characters from that background, from Indian background, from just Asian background in general, because you've got Simu Liu playing Shang-Chi. There's not enough characters from that region of the world within that universe. It's very white dominated, and that's understandable. It was buffed in the main out of the United States, where it's mostly white people. But we need to see more characters being represented from that region, because it's a huge market. And I know for a fact the Indian film goers love the MCU, because I've watched some of the best reactions to Endgame were shot inside Indian cinemas. They're losing their shit, going crazy. So
definitely,
Shakra, I need to look that up. Shakra. I'll do that just now.
Like that, but I'll just carry on with this, John. Bear in mind, this is from a Western perspective. This article that's come in from Collider as well. It does say, well, a majority of the audience understands that the North Indian cinema industry, aka Bollywood, as RRR, has broadened their understanding of the presence of cinema in other Indian languages. For example, South India has 4 dominant languages: Telugu, Tamil, Kannada and Malayalam, and the individual film industries are known as Tollywood, Collywood, Sandalwood and Mollywood. This is really marrying into our Western community, guys, so just bear with us. I know you guys know all about it, so we're kind of stating the obvious here. So respectively, yeah, so to give it in perspective, when Chris Evans refers to Dhanush as my Tamil friend in The Grey Man, it's not the same as Triple R's region or language. However, the common thread between North and South India is the epics Ramayana and Mahabharata, the stories everyone grows up on, Rajamouli tells. Now, there is a quote in there, John, that I need a little hand on, because on
you've got some strange fucking
video
Stanley Kubrick style horror character.
I think it's Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Is it?
I think that's in Nazi before his face melts.
Oh,
and adverts
right,
came up on top of the quote there. So India has this rich history of storytelling. It has the penchant for telling everything in a story, even the deepest philosophies they tell in story form. So our biggest treasures are Mahabharata and Ramayana, and I grew up on all of the languages films that are made in the country. Telugu films made more of these epics.
Yeah.
Now the director further
That's
reveals,
one of the things that comes out again. We'll get into it.
Yeah, the director reveals that he liked the epics because they had so much action and drama, which was his main point of attraction. So while making his movies, he thought, if we can take not the same story as it is, but take the essence of what we had on these epics and translate on a screen, that Telugu films needn't just be for Telugu speaking people, it can grow beyond that. John, we've covered this on Movie News time and time again, where and people in the community, to be fair, have said, we don't need the Oscars. You're absolutely right, you don't need the Oscars, you don't need the Academy Award validating anything that comes out of India, certainly in cinema.
Just 1 minute, I'll be back.
Yeah, but I think, personally speaking, I think I agree with him. I do agree with the director in terms of taking that essence, and we talked about this, John, when we were reviewing the film as well. I know I can't hear you and they can't see you at the moment, but we both agreed that, you take that essence, and certainly when it comes to the genre of action and drama, you certainly can take that essence a lot more fluently in terms of translating it onto another story and making it appeal to a wider audience, not just Tamil or Telugu, sorry. And I think they've done that, and I think that's the recipe. I think that's the key ingredient to get a bigger audience involved, enjoy the film. I couldn't believe, and I shouldn't be that surprised actually, because, John, we've been watching these films for the best part of nearly 3 years, 2.5 years now, sorry, and I think, they are of a quality that they can go out with Indian cinema goers and be enjoyed by, foreign audiences.
Yeah, and there's always bias from Western spheres where they think they're God's gift with movies. They think they create the best, and everything else is below par.
And I think that's why the director does say, if you can take that essence, because that essence can apply into Western audiences as well, that can understand and relate to the storytelling. Because one thing we have noticed in terms of the films that we've watched from India, north or south, is that they will have that mythological element to it, a social message, especially in Tilapia Vijay films. It's always a social message that possibly we don't understand, but maybe having a kind of socialist background that John and I have got, we understand the problems the farmers have, and the
political
workers.
corruption.
Yeah, exactly.
The issues with hospital bills.
That's something that's
like
universal, so it can appeal, and I get what obviously the director's saying in that.
No, Stephen, look, one of the big issues we've got in Western cinema just now is this criticism from certain sections of film and from film-going audiences on Marvel dominating, superhero movies dominating, film dominating, the screen shown in these big complexes, and we don't have enough original, independent, interesting stories being made. You look at what the likes of SS Rajamouli are doing over in India, and obviously it's broke out with this movie. I feel like Bahubali should have broke out as well, because it's a similar thing, similar concept.
John, it might have.
An epic movie.
I think perhaps maybe we just weren't in that sort of stratosphere at that point.
Maybe it did. Maybe it was maybe not as much as Triple R, because we would have heard about it, Steve.
Yeah.
Because we were doing my movie thing back then.
We were doing box office.
Yeah.
We would have picked it up then, surely.
And I don't recall it breaking into the UK for some reason. Maybe it did. We just weren't aware. But SS Rajamouli's doing a sort of combination of MCU style, big bombastic, super heroic stuff with his main characters, but he's combining it with interesting historical sort of stories, drama stories, fantasy stories. I feel like this guy is ripe for coming over and doing a really monster Western franchise,
Yeah.
maybe heavily inspired from Indian sort of culture, and combining these two regions. This guy could make a fucking monster hit movie or franchise, I'm telling you, because people are already on board for 2.5, 3 hour movies over here. We're already aware of superheroic stuff with the MCU, DC stuff. If you can combine that with brilliant stories like we get in Triple R and Bahubali, these big epic stories, I think it's a match made in heaven. But what he's saying, Stephen, in general about it not just being for Telugu audiences, we've been told that, and we've actually seen that firsthand with our reaction to KGF Chapter 2. You're not going to understand this. There's an issue, a translation issue with the language. Only people from the region will get the true essence of the movie. If you're a foreigner watching it with subtitles, you're not going to get that translated accurate enough. That you'll miss nuances, you'll miss important little things in the actual story that maybe make it all the more enriching as I watch. So we've seen that firsthand.
But I take any film like that, and I suppose it works both ways. There'll be many Western films that may not translate well, where Indian cinema goes, and there may be things that are missed, certain things that that we could pick up and that maybe some Indian audiences don't, and stuff like that, references or whatever it may be, something maybe in society at the time, who knows. But the point is that if a good film is layered enough, there'll be things that you miss anyway, but you'll pick up on other things, and you'll still, everyone goes into a movie having a different experience anyway, and
it's
sometimes so you could really get into a film and enjoy it, and the person next to you're with may not enjoy it as much as you.
But Stephen, you're looking at, I searched up Telugu film 2022, and you look at the diverse movies we've got. It's not just big blockbuster hits like Triple R or KGF. You've got Radheshayam with Prabhas in there. You've got Shamshira, which looks like another sort of historical interesting story. I believe that's the one with Ranbir Kapoor and Sanjay Dutt playing a villain. So they're doing really interesting things with the films. And there is an energy, having watched movies from loads of regions in India. The only one we've not really touched, there's obviously a couple we've not touched on, but McLaughlin, we've heard from Ruth in the past and other people. They're really dialed in with drama stuff, high calibre drama, human condition stuff. And you've got the likes of Mahanlo acting the so-called Brando of India. I don't like saying that. It's like, here's the next Lionel Messi coming through. He's the next Cristiano Ronaldo. He's the French sort of Batistuta. It's patronising when you take some figure from another part of the world and apply that onto someone else. Oh, he's the Brando of India. No, he's the Mahanlo of India. He didn't need to be the Brando. There's other people over here that are Brandos in their own right, but they don't get that fucking brandished on them. So I don't like that, but also different regions. But what we've noticed, Stephen, I speak for myself, I don't know if you've noticed it, but there is an energy about Telugu cinema. They don't seem to care. They make their movies the way they want to make them. They're unapologetic and they put it out there. And if it's a monster hit, and look, with SS Rajamouli, it's always going to be more likely to be monstrous because he's a fucking unbelievable director, pan-Indian director.
John, one of the things about Triple R that really surprised me more than anything was that it took 2 films really to tell the story in Bahubali, and I get that it was very slow burn, and because you're telling 2 very specific perspectives in terms of 2 characters, I understood why it was broken into 2 parts. But again, you're dealing with 2 larger than life characters in this film as well, and for him to get that condensed in a organic way, it didn't feel rushed at any point in the story, didn't confuse us in terms of pacing or scenes, the way it was shot, is remarkable, because I felt when we reacted to the first trailer, I thought this is another big bombastic movie from SS Rajamouli. Is this going to be a volume 1 and volume 2 again? Are we going to maybe get one of the characters' perspectives in the first movie, and then we move on to volume 2 and get the perspective of the other character, which I would have watched that anyway. I think that would have worked out well as well, just the way it was written. But for him to do that under 3 hours, I think it was maybe just over 3 hours, I'm not sure, it was the 3 hour mark anyway, it was remarkable to get all that in. And I can understand Ali Abad, was it? Didn't get much of the screen time that we were kind of surprised about, but I understood why. because the main focus was on the two men.
Yeah.
But at the same time, your legendary actor as well was playing the father.
Ajay Devgan.
Ajay Devgan, yeah. Again, his cinema time, or screen time, sorry, was valuable, and every second
He
counted of
acted
his.
about 8 minutes in the movie, but,
But his performance was fantastic, John.
Stephen's performance came with a punch.
Yeah.
One of the more
Hard hitting, yeah.
Emotional moments.
Yeah.
The impact on Rambaraju in that movie.
But you get that, John. You get that when you know, and you
Fueled
can
that
even go
desire.
back to something as light and popcorny as Star Wars, where George Lucas knew bringing in classical actors and the Peter Cushings and the Alec Guinnesses for those more sort of important roles in terms of the narration and getting the message across in a very short period of time. Those guys weren't on the screen that much either.
No, but they did enough, yeah.
Yeah, and I can see it's the same formula as used in Triple R.
No, but Stephen, look, man, in terms of, again, what you're saying, the growing influence of Telugu films, Stephen, we discussed this. I don't want to get back to it, man. Because I probably said some things back when we were covering Southern cinema that I want to keep under.
Obviously,
the sort of divide between
the
North
early
and
days,
South.
yeah. Well, I mean, again, it's nothing offensive.
But during the pandemic, obviously, there's a sort of boycott of Bollywood movies just now. There seems to be this thing where there's almost cannibalising their own work from people in the North. I don't want to get involved in it. I don't know the actual reason behind it. I know there's this whole Hindu-Muslim thing that's going a bit crazy over in India as well. And I've had words to say about that because we know about sectarianism, but maybe not that brand.
Yeah.
But during the pandemic, obviously the South Indian cinema industries, Tamil stuff, the Telugu stuff, Tollywood, Collywood, whatever you want to, I don't want to get into that again because I get my knuckles rattled with that as well. They were carrying the sort of heavy load during the pandemic. It was big releases coming out, master movies like that, making huge money, almost single-handedly keeping theatres opened. Obviously post-pandemic we've had big Telugu releases again. There's always been that sort of thing since we've started covering Indian cinema, where not only have you got regions that don't watch other regions, they wait till it gets remade, but you've also got like regions that are fucking hating against their own actors, their own industries. So I think they are on a crest of a wave just now, the Telugu industry. I think they are churning out brilliant movies, get really interesting technical stuff going on, brilliant directors, composers coming through, young vibrant actors, even guys that aren't even fucking known maybe for acting solely, like Alu Arjun, more like a dancer, all round performer.
Yeah.
They're doing their thing down the south of India. I don't know whether this is something that can translate into a national thing, where the likes of Rajamouli can capture this in a bottle and fucking work his magic to the whole of India, or whether it's just something relating to confidence in the north, because Bollywood's always been synonymous with Western culture, Steve.
John,
everyone that knows anything about films, they think of India, rightly or wrongly, they immediately go Bollywood.
Well, John, that's the issue.
So it seems to have lost a spark just now.
That's our issue, though. That's our issue.
But we know it's good, Stephen, because we've seen brilliant content.
And John, I don't really want to sort of linger on it too much, but I think
culture.
I think in terms of from a Western perspective, and always this sort of at the brink of exploding worldwide, and I'm sure Indian audiences have heard this time and time again, and the likes of your Shah Rukh Khans, etc. This is going to be the one that that Western audiences are going to really.
You shouldn't be worrying about that.
They don't, and I'm glad they don't. Because at the end of the day, they've got a fantastic, enriched cultural industry. I want to say establishment in terms of their studios, and they all do.
It's unique, Stephen. I've not seen anything like it in any other part of the world, where you've got, I mean, as a subcontinent, right off the bat, it's bigger in terms of landmass.
Yeah.
But you have 6, 7, 8 different film industries within this country,
and all doing their own thing.
All creating interesting different kinds of movies. Yeah. It's something that's original, and they should really embrace that and celebrate it, to be fair. We as outsiders, we are looking from a Hollywood perspective, a British industry
from the
perspective.
British perspective, John, I always find that the British film industry is very snobbish and very cliquey.
Yeah,
and it's you've either got to be a certain class or you're very lucky. The ones that come out of Scotland in particular, that have made it have not made it through the British film industry. The likes of
They've went to America.
Ewan McGregor to an extent has with his
Yeah,
indie
Danny
films,
Boyle,
but
yeah.
the likes of your Gerard Butler, etc., Sean Connery, it's been the US that have propelled them to superstardom. Working class guys.
Yeah, but also you're absolutely right, Steve. And there's obviously other ones. James McAvoy's had to go away and do the sort of Fox X-Men stuff to get fame. But as outsiders, Steve, we perhaps look at that and think, what are they doing? Why do they not watch these movies, great movies from Tamil region, South India, Telugu, and just watch it with subtitles? But it's deeply ingrained. They remake these movies, they bring their own actors in, do their own sort of slant on it, and that's the way they do it, and that's absolutely fair enough. Obviously, you've got Rajamouli here talking though about how there's a growing influence, this new wave Telugu sort of films that are coming out, bombastic, high energy, maybe a little bit over the top, but being celebrated outside of the shores of India now because it's something fucking different, it's something unique, which I think film fans have been looking for in an era where it's just MCU, superhero.
Yeah.
We're now accustomed to big, bombastic action, super heroic stuff, but we want something different with it. Maybe outside of just fucking capes and Thor with his hammer.
Yeah.
So we're getting that with a Rajamouli movie, we're getting that with Bahubali, Mahendra's clutching the sword and he's fucking striking down Balala Deva. You've got it in Triple R, he's wrestling with fucking tigers, it's epic. So they're doing that, and obviously it's striking a bell with the greater world. But we've got comments, brothers, try some Malayalam movies. Malayalam movies are so realistic. Start from the movie Jaya Katu. I think we may have reacted to that back in the day. We certainly have been told about Malayalam, the industry, apparently fantastic movies, brilliant actors, and again different. And sort of Tamil, you've got is dominated with the likes of Talapathy Vijay, maybe a Vijay Sethupathi, and it's like 3-4 different genres in a movie. You've got brilliant dancing stuff going on, sort of over the top at times, really comedic acting going on, and then you can have like a really emotional moment. Up north, it's kind of more, for me anyway, it's like more western slant, but also they've got their own cultural stuff going on as well. Telugu, we just spoke about, it's fucking crazy, high action, don't give a shit, they just do what they want to do. Malayalam, it seems to be more drama driven. I like the fact to tick different boxes. I think that's really interesting.
It works for us. It certainly works for us in terms of doing movie reviews, and certainly the ones that we've reviewed.
Stephen,
there has been a blend of comedy in there. There's been drama. There's been action. There's been obviously 96. Was a romantic film.
Stephen, you think when we started with Indian cinema, we started off with KGF, and we're like, fucking hell. What is it? And I think that is Telugu. I'm pretty sure it's Telugu's industry. But like, what? I was like, what the fuck is this?
The editing at times was.
It was like a cut every 5 seconds. Cut, frenetic, crazy action. I'm like, what is this? Then we go and watch Padmavat.
Yeah.
And then we go and watch Dangal from the north, and it's totally fucking different. It's a lot slower. It's more western centric. We go down to the south and watch Telepathy stuff again. It's completely different again. So it was a baptism of fire for us.
Yeah.
But even Telepathy's done different kinds of movies within his career.
He tends to do a lot of genres in the one movie rather than just.
And he does it well.
They're action mostly. Certainly the later ones are action, but there's always a range of social issues, messages, and a romantic interest in there to an extent. And
that's the one thing I'd say about Telepathy movies, and I did make this criticism when we were covering it. It always feels like they tack the romantic female interest on. They never, and there's been some brilliant actors in there, Trisha Krishnan and Samantha, Arjawal, forget her first name. They've been in there. Brilliant actors. We've seen that with Family Man. That is the name of the TV show. Fuck's sake, I had to think about that. They don't feel like they have got a sizeable role. They're just a side thing tacked on. Just an interest for Telepathy's character. That's one thing you would have to do better. And also they cut that scene out of Master, which was actually talking about the way women are treated, which was fucking strange to me.
I don't know why it's cut. Honestly, I don't know why it's cut.
And they put it out anyway. Amit to say Bollywood is druggy culture industry. See, to be fair, that's the same everywhere. See, when you get success and you're super rich and you get of an age, 20s, 30s, 40s, even 50s probably, you're just going to do it, man. It's going to be drugs galore, drink. That's just a fact of life. It's the same in Hollywood. Fucking debauchery, cocaine, heroin, alcohol.
Yep.
They're
And
at
other
it,
things
man.
as well.
Yeah, they're at it,
yeah.
believe me. So that
Yeah.
doesn't surprise me. Anti-India narrative from Bollywood, reason for boycott. Yeah, we've heard about it, but again, I'm not going to get into that.
Yeah.
We've heard about Amir Khan. Apparently, he's been saying things, but my interactions with him, not that I've met him, but I'm talking about watching his stuff. Fucking brilliant
Yeah, I
actor.
mean, John,
Incredible actor.
The movie news show is to keep it. It's almost like we want you to come in here and obviously forget about the real world, you know. And we kind of do that in a way where we know there's obviously issues going on with certain studios and stuff like that, and even the stuff that from a Western point of view, John kind of touches on it in movie news and these solo shows with the likes of Ezra Miller and stuff like that, the things, and we tend not to get too deep into these things because we're trying to be a bit more light entertainment, you know, and have more of a sort of a geeky perspective
I
from the
tend to
movie
go
news.
after the racists though, don't I?
Yeah.
I just can't help myself. These
But yeah,
backward
we are
right
aware
wingers.
of it, you know, and I think we did. I think our movie news show was headlined by that as well, and I think a lot of comments were coming in round about that time, and it all kicked off.
I know there was some actor. I think there was some suicide issue or something, and there was an issue with him being outcasted in Bollywood. I can't remember the name of the actor, but there was a big backlash at the time, and I just assumed it was about that sort of cliquey nature of up north, because we've had Ruth speaking about it, who's been on the channel, knows her shit.
Yeah.
And she says it is more who you know in the
Well,
north of India. It's very, what's the word, Stephen?
Nepotism.
Nepotistic.
Yeah, well, someone, I think it's Amit, actually mentions that Bollywood dominated by specific people, nepotism. Well, Ruth actually did say in terms of some telepathy VJ stuff as well, a bit of nepotism in terms of certain actors.
I think it was Surya,
Surya.
His brother may have been in the industry or something, or father. And because he was gave the gig initially in his career, they says it was because of his family. He wasn't good enough, which is bollocks. We've watched this guy. He's fucking outstanding.
We've seen him in action films, we've seen him in comedy,
Yeah.
and we've seen him in horror. John, was he the one that did the time travel one?
I think it was, yeah.
That was a fantastic film. I liked it. Yeah, I can't remember what it's called, but it's
I
a
can't
fantastic.
remember the name of that either.
He
It was
did
a
that.
watch.
He did that one. Yeah, he did that one with the horror one.
Sariri Potru did.
Yeah, yep.
And then obviously he done Jai Beam,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, which was one of my favourite movies of last year.
Amazing, that, yeah.
Surya is fantastic.
Yeah.
So sometimes nepotism can be bad, but if someone's genuinely talented, they shouldn't be blocked from getting into the industry because they're family members with someone who's been successful.
Yeah. If they're an absolute shit show, it'll show in their first movie anyway, you know, and they'll not be back. Raj Daz says that's why Bollywood downfall started, because they always focus on foreign audience. John, you just mentioned that 5 minutes ago in terms of that sort of Western perspective and Western themed movies, and that's what we're saying, you know.
If you make a good film, Stephen, and it's a great film, great 3 acts, brilliant acting, it's got a coherent story, it will resonate outside and inside India. You've got to focus on your key demographics, which is in your own country first. There'll always be an audience outside who want to watch it. We more than most probably over here are interested in foreign language stuff. I've been watching Korean stuff, Italian stuff, German, Danish, French. I've seen it all, man. I like cinema.
MBE will conquer the world eventually, guys.
Don't care where it's from.
So,
I like good cinema. I appreciate it. But people in France, these directors, they're not thinking about Hollywood. What would they like? They're just making a good fucking film for their own audience first, and then if it resonates outside, so be it.
Noob Gamer says, please react to Stepfather Home Alone with Stepdaughter. I don't like the sound of this.
Yeah, that sounds a bit fucking weird.
Must watch.
Is that a film?
We'll Google it, the Noob Gamer. We'll see what it's all about.
I'll
Raj
let
Daz,
you Google that, Stephen.
Yeah, we'll do it now on your computer. Ali Abba is also a Nepo kid, but she act well. Yeah.
Yeah, we've not really seen anything outside of Triple R with her. We reacted to the gangster one. I think it was Gangabai. I think it was Gangabai. We've seen a couple of trails she's in. But she does seem to, I mean, she was disappointing in Triple R. Not enough screen time.
It wasn't her fault. You know.
Steve, we spoke about Ajay Devgan though, didn't we?
Just wasn't in that. Yeah, but I think it was the way she was utilised.
Fucking dominated when he was in.
But his his part was pivotal to the backstory, where her part wasn't really. There was a bit of an emotional thing between her.
Her part was to bring Beam back for Ramiraju.
Yeah, the connection between the village and obviously him.
Yeah.
You know, she was the sort of bridge between that. But apart from that,
I think they were. I mean, the best bits we had was just the scenery, fucking unreal.
Yeah.
The sort of the water, the desert. I think it was unbelievable setting.
yeah.
And I think I actually searched up where it was. It wasn't Agra, but it was something like that up north. I'm obsessed with Agra, incidentally. I think it's Agra where the Taj Mahal is.
Yeah.
I keep going on about it. Even if they're not doing anything while watching something, I'll say Agra. I searched up last week or 2 weeks back and had a photo of the Taj Mahal in front of me. I don't know why. Maybe I'm from a previous life. Maybe I've been reincarnated and I was from Agra. I don't know. I certainly have got a fucking love for Indian food culture. So,
architecture.
Architecture, yeah. I fucking love it, man.
Yeah.
So perhaps I was Indian before. I am 2% Indian. I'm just going to keep saying that. Because there's people come into our chat, come into our comments and say, you people. And I'm like, bitch, I'm from fucking great-great-grandmothers from India. You people. I'm one of you. I've got a direct ancestral fucking link. I've got a direct ancestral link to South India.
Yeah.
And probably north as well.
Yeah.
Need to look down that rabbit hole. So, just shut the fuck up. I've got a right to react to this stuff. It's my fucking fatherland, my homeland. Along with other countries.
Yes.
Which I went
other
down a rabbit hole with.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I had to go really deep to find other ones, to be fair. Watch her movie Razzie. What do you look at it? Bollywood is Hollywood light. Yeah, I mean, I don't know about that, man. Hollywood is Hollywood light now. Hollywood isn't what it was.
Hollywood's all what is that? Sequels and
fucking sequels and just quasi sequels and rebooting,
remaking.
My desk isn't what it was. I'm just looking at my desk and I think I've got another dog sitting on it. What has happened there? Never buy a black desk ever. It's like a scene out of fucking Indiana Jones. What is happening on that desk? I feel like what was the one where the boulder chased after him?
That was that Ark? Lost Ark?
But yeah, that's what it's like.
Temple of Doom.
Terrifying.
Might have been Temple of Doom.
Temple of Doom. No, but staying, look, probably the final thing I'll say, because I'm struggling now. I don't think I can say much more on it, but and I'll always be honest.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying what Rajamouli's doing. The cinema, and even getting back, man, Igu, I think it was. Is that the name of the movie, Iga? The one with the fly, we have to watch that.
That was amazing.
It was hilarious.
Yeah.
This guy's been doing something a bit different, a bit zany, and it seems to me like the scale of the actual storytelling has been growing exponential over the years. He's now making movies which, to me, surpass some of the shit coming out of Hollywood.
Kind of attitude and swagger about him, where he's not exactly the same kind of filmmaker as Taika Waititi, but he's bold, you know, and he takes risks and he'll take those chances because he knows if he's got a good story in there and good actors, he knows it'll work, you know, and he's big and brave at times, and I think, you know, that film Iga, was it Iga? Is a classic example of that, where he will take those risks. I can't wait to see that, actually.
Yeah, we do it. We have to go back and watch that, absolutely. But what I was going to say is just keep doing what you're doing, man. Don't worry about other people. You just keep doing what you're doing. Worry about yourself, SS. Keep making great movies, and I'm sure in time the rest will follow suit. Because if something is working and it's successful, you best believe the quote had the sort of the sort of parasitical little fish that tag along with a big shark or a whale. They'll be like that. They'll just tag along. They'll follow your lead. So you just keep fucking hitting it out the park, mate. Because you are just now. I want to see what he does next. Yeah. Did we talk about what he's doing next? I think we may have done. Maybe not. He strikes me as an event movie maker.
Yeah.
It's like 3, 4, 5 years between movies.
Hope not.
That's what it says. I was speaking to that old guy the other day. He says one of the best things about Indian film industries, the industries in general, is the sheer volume of stuff that they put out. They can put out hundreds of movies across all these industries, and I says to him, you're absolutely right.
Yep.
I was educating him. I was. Yeah. Like Vijay Sethupathi puts out 5, 6 movies a year. These guys are fucking workhorses. They just power through. They're doing loads of different stuff. They keep busy.
Well, and it's all different. Sees us.
I do it. I says to him, I probably know more than you do. I do. I actually know more than you do, plain and simple. And I had to explain to him. I'm just going to keep saying this. I'm 2% Indian, mate. So I know more than you. And I can't remember where he says he was from. He didn't. He says he came over in the 50s. I'm like, wow. I was but a twinkle in my grandmother's eye back then. And you were coming over here. And I asked him, why did you come here? Because it's shit here. Fucking rubbish. I want to go to India. I don't want to stay here. The weather's crap. Constantly rains. Oh, we've got big valleys and fucking lovely scenery. Yeah, but nobody stays there, man.
Yeah, and we don't want to see it maybe about once a year.
Yeah, it's rubbish. Nobody stays in those scenic spots. You know why? Because they've got fucking flesh-eating midges. You sit out in it, you're fucking gone the next day. They ravage you. So it's shit, this country. Our national fucking flower is a fawn or a weed. It's pish. Our national animal doesn't fucking exist. A unicorn. Shite. The country is shite. I'm leaving this country. But anyway, let's go round it up. What's your thoughts on Rajamouli coming out and suggesting that there is a growing influence from Telugu movies, that they are in the crest of a wave, and that if they just continue doing what they're doing, it will translate to people who perhaps are not Telugu speaking people, i.e. Hollywood, the greater world, regions within India itself. Do you agree with it? What's your thoughts on Indian cinema just now, the different industries? Who's hitting it out the park? Who's doing it right? Who's doing it wrong? Do you agree with them? Is the Telugu influence growing? Comment down below. I want to see the comments, because look, even within the Telugu regions, I'm sure KGF Triple R, I don't know if Triple R's deemed a Telugu movie, it may just be a fucking pan-Indian movie, but they were going at each other. So I want to see the comments. I've been intrigued to get the thoughts. Share them down below in the comment section. That's the place to put it. You can also like the video if you've enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon to get notifications straight to your eyeballs for future content like this. I'll be back tomorrow. If I'm not fucking dead after my work, thanks to our beloved Queen dying and giving us a day off. Thank you. Now I'll be worked to the fucking bone tomorrow. Talking about workhorses, I will be like a horse from World War I tomorrow. If I am not crawling into my house at an ungodly hour, I'll be here tomorrow doing the same thing. Regardless of what you do though, subscribe to the channel. That's the most important fucking thing. Hit the bell icon to get notifications straight to your eyeballs. I think I may have said that, I may not have. Lord knows. Thank you very much, Surya, for the I don't know what the fuck that is. A donation?
Donation, yeah.
That's the word. But until next time, follow button over on Twitch, notification over there. Me and Stephen are done. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye. Thank you again, Surya. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you for all the comments, incidentally. And bye-bye.